Hello everybody, Magadi Linjani. Thank you for stopping by my channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is Rue and this is Rue's ABCs, my channel where I share with you my adventures, beauty and lifestyle tips, and career experiences. For those of you who have been here before, I see your support. I appreciate you. Keep doing the good work. I love you so much. Thank you guys for everything that you're doing for my channel. Today, I'm gonna share with you the 5 side hustles to try out in 2022. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Also subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out when you get a post. So remember, I'm on my journey to get to 1,000 subscribers and I know I can't do that without you guys. So I'd really like your support. Please make sure you subscribe and engage with the comment. Give me suggestions if there's more content that you want to see from my channel, and I'll definitely do my best to make that happen. So let's jump right into today's video and make some money. This is personally based on my experiences. So if you noticed, I started posting before when the year started and then I stopped for a bit. So I wanted my channel to have a little bit more depth other than just makeup videos and me traveling around the country. So I decided to really test out some of these things before I share them with you guys. This is the perfect time because I feel like everyone is just trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Everyone is just trying to make an extra buck, especially with the economy going, I don't know which direction it's going, but everybody is facing tough times. Money is not enough, your salary is not enough. Like, it seems like we just need to keep making more money. So I'm gonna share with you what I think works, and I've tested out some of these ideas myself, and then I'll keep giving you progress reports as the year progresses, seeing what I'm learning, sharing it with you guys. And if you guys are noticing something, feel free to share so that we can all learn from each other. We gotta do our best to survive in these economic times. The first one is you can start a pre-loved clothing business. So other people call it thrifting, and then we know them as mandero, right? So you basically go and buy second-hand clothes, refurbish them, wash them, you iron them, you probably package them, and then you sell them, right? So in my experience, what I needed when I started my business is that I needed obviously the stock. I also needed hangers where I was gonna hang the stuff. I also bought a steamer which was going for $12.50. The hangers were going for $1 for 8, yeah, so which means for $10 I managed to get 80. And then I invested in some plastics where I would package the items after somebody bought, and then I managed to also get a receipt book so that I can keep track of all my accounts, how much is being spent, who bought what, at what price, etc. And then I also got racks because I started going to flea markets where I'd book a table on the weekends, and then I would go with my racks and my hangers, and then I would put my items there on display, and then people would come and what happens there. And then I also managed to do little thank you cards just to try to show people that I appreciate them having come to buy my product. So after somebody bought, I'll give them the receipt and also give them a little thank you card to say, okay, you know what, I appreciate you, I hope my product also makes your day, that kind of thing. And then I also invested in a portable mirror. So it's sort of full length, it should be 1.5 meters or so, and I got it for $6 in a China shop. So that's just for somebody to look at themselves in the mirror after they bought something to see how good they look, or if it's the right fit, or if it's something that they want, instead of just thinking, oh, I look nice. The second one would be to do hampers. Now this could be food hampers, this could be gift hampers, kitchen stuff hampers, So basically what I mean is you get products that go together and then you package them and then sell it as a hamper. So like gift hampers, you find some people would have gift hampers that have to do with self-care. So maybe your lotions, your bath salts, your scented candles, your fluffy slippers, and then you just put them in some nice packaging, and then you market them, whether on your WhatsApp, whether on your Instagram. And usually you target people with birthdays, or when it's maybe season like Valentine's Day, you really pump up your marketing, try to get customers, and then maybe use word of mouth, post in groups just so people can see your hampers. So the other kind of hampers that you can do is grocery hampers, where you got your basics in there, your bath soap, your washing powder, your dishwashers, you got your salt, you got your sugars, you got your rice. So it's like the grocery items that somebody needs every month. Those basic ones. You package them nicely. Maybe you even offer the delivery perk, where if somebody orders from you, they get a free delivery within a certain radius. The utensils one. So what I mean is, maybe you go to the China shops, you do hampers maybe for people who are just starting to stay by themselves. So that means you do hampers with pots in them, you do hampers with plates and cups, that basic property that you need in a kitchen when somebody's just starting to live by themselves, or that you just find in a kitchen basically. So that's another idea you can do. So all you need to do in this aspect is to find items that go together. It has to be a package that is valuable, that somebody really needs, right? So the one for the utensils, it could be something that you can target to sell to maybe people who are having, those kitchen parties or bridal showers, people who need gifts like that. Those might be your target market. If you got other ideas, please let me know where else you can sell those. The other way you can make money will be round. I told him around there. Guys, what is round in English? Like, what's the proper word? Is that what they call a stokvel in South Africa? Did I say it right, or is this stokvel? I don't know what it's called, but somebody tell me what a round is called. So what I was thinking in terms of round is that you find a group of people you trust and know that they are reliable. Emphasis on trust and know, guys, because if you do around with people that you don't really know, chances are when they get their share, they're gonna bounce. And you don't know where to find them, you don't know how to get your money back. So you really need to be careful. So you just need to also make sure that come around, make sure you keep the circle to, I'll say maximum 4 people. Personally, I prefer 4 people, because at least then you have an even rotation within the year. If you're playing Moody 4, you know that you're gonna get money 3 times in a year, right? Mese, the cycle is completed 3 times in that year. If you're playing Moody 3, you know that the cycle can be completed 4 times within that year, without someone having to go into the next year without completing a cycle. So try to keep the circle as small as possible, and also make sure you peg an amount that everyone in the circle can afford, because you need to think of, okay, if we take out this amount of money, will everyone have enough money for their rentals, for their transport, for their groceries and their upkeep? Because we don't want a situation whereby you peg an amount that will leave you stranded and struggling for the remainder of the month. Make sure you calculate what your living expenses on a monthly basis are, and then you put an amount that is based on what you have left over after you've catered for all your expenses. So some people do rounds for groceries, like they just pump out money, or they buy groceries and one person keeps them for them, and it's that person from their circle who keeps everything. They have sort of a storeroom where they stock everything, and then they share these groceries maybe on a quarterly basis or at the end of the year. So it depends on what kind of groceries you're buying. So it's obviously not going to be perishables, right? But something that has a long shelf life. So maybe your soap, your rice, your carbs, I don't know, something that doesn't go bad quickly. So that's how other people do it. And then some do just for money, like they give each other a certain amount of money at the end of the month. And then we have some who are doing for cars even. So I think this one is a bit tricky, because a car is a very valuable thing. So you need people you really trust. And I feel like if you want to buy the cars in a short period of time, the amount that a person has to contribute within a month has to be really steep. So you find that one needs people maybe who have like deeper pockets, if I dare say so. And if you feel like, okay, maybe in as much as you don't have deeper pockets, but you're willing to wait the amount of time it takes to get to the certain amount it requires to buy a car, then fine. So some are doing rounds to help them buy, second-hand cars, maybe a small fuel saver to my Honda Fit, to my Vita, to my March, So it really depends on your circle, but that's what other people are doing. So some, they just put the money together. Somebody keeps it somewhere and they trust, and then at the end of the year or whatever stipulated time they have, they share the whole amount evenly among themselves, and the person gets the car of their choice within that price bracket. Or what others do is, after the money has been calculated like per share, how much each one is getting evenly, they then send somebody to get the same car, and then each person gets their own car. Or what others are doing is that they buy a car per cycle, right? At the end of each cycle, they buy a car and it's allocated to someone. And then in terms of security now, of ensuring that somebody just doesn't bounce off after you buy a car, what other people are saying from my research is that when a person is given the car, they don't give them that book, that comes with the car, so that they have no way of claiming ownership if they decide to run away. So usually the books are just distributed when everyone has their car. That's what I'm hearing, but let me know how you guys are doing it out there in terms of valuable assets like cars. Well, is the car an asset or a liability? Well, you let me know. The next idea that you can try out is freelancing. So freelancing is basically something that you do outside of your normal work routine. It can be something within your skill set for the job that you went to school for, or the job that you're doing, but you do it for other clients besides the company that hires you on a full-time basis. You can also freelance in terms of skills that you have, but that don't necessarily have anything to do with the job that you're currently doing full-time. So for example, me as a graphic designer, I work for the company that hires me full-time, right? But obviously I have people who come with once-off projects and they need graphic design expertise. That's where I come in. You find that freelancing helps you to get money on the side, because unlike for you to wait for, I don't know how much people are getting out, they may be $350. The $350 that's coming at the end of the month as your salary. You can actually have projects that are maybe closer in price to that, and all the money is for you to keep, if you get what I mean. But what you need to make sure is that you have the time, you have enough equipment, you can balance it out so that your deliverables are submitted on time and before deadline to the client. Reliability is something that the clients need, and integrity as well. They need to know that they can rely on you, that if you say you're going to do this service for them within a stipulated time frame, you can deliver within that time frame. So if you find that you can't do it in a stipulated time frame, the best thing will be to let them know that, okay, I can't do within the time frame that you want, but are you willing to give me so and so number of days? And make sure the number of days that you give them is really enough for you to complete this project, so that at least you can do a proper job that is up to par, that is up to standard, without sacrificing the quality of your work. Because remember, those people will be your referrals and they are your source of new business. So once they tell their friends or friends of a friend that I got this service from this person and they're reliable, then you get your next client. And the only disadvantage about freelancing is that if you try to take it on full time, the money is not always guaranteed. Unlike when you have a full-time job, freelance is difficult in that sometimes you get to go under dry spells where you don't have any clients or any money coming in. But if you have a full-time job and freelance, you know that when you have a dry spell during your freelance, at least you have something guaranteed that you're getting at work. You have your salary coming in from a full-time job. So what you also need to make sure is that your full-time job doesn't suffer as a result of a freelance. You need to find a balance between the two so that you can do them, and don't undertake more than you can handle. Other ways you can freelance, sometimes you can just be a consultant. Like they can tell you, oh, we need design work for this and this and this. So what you can do is you can give them a creative direction and some ideas that they can then present to someone who will be able to execute the design. That's another way to go about it. You can also try for remote work. So you find that there, especially on LinkedIn and other job sites, maybe like Indeed, you find that there are job postings nowadays where people are seeking remote workers. So that is a person who works for a company that is not within their country, city, or region, but you are employed by them on a part-time basis. So this is maybe for companies that who have an in-house team that has their hands full and they just want somebody to quickly do something for them who is not part of the team in a formal sense, right? So that's another way to go about it. So you just go on LinkedIn, you search for remote work, set up a job post alert. Anytime somebody posts a job that fits within the criteria you want, which is part-time, which is remote, and within your skill set, you get an alert and you see if you can handle it and you see if the price is right for you. The other one that people are doing is teaching English. Now, I'm not really well versed in this whole English teaching thing because I've never tried it. So if anybody has done it, can you let me know in the comments what the process is like, what it entails, and if it pays well, and if it's something that is easily done. Now, in terms of graphic design freelance, what you're gonna need is a good internet connection and a computer and the softwares that you use for graphic design, and basically that's it. And maybe if you need images, you can try to get a Shutterstock subscription to get stock images. And then last but not least, what you can do to get money is I can't call this a business idea, but it makes business and financial sense. So what you can do is live below your means. Now what I mean is you need to know your needs and wants. There is a difference. So ever since I started living by myself, I noticed that sometimes I would get things because I want them, but I don't really need them. Or I would go into a shop and I find myself, ooh, I'm looking at this bean and I'm like, I like this bean, it's nice. And I'm thinking, do you need it? Or you just want it? So the moment I realize that I don't need it, I have something that I can use at the time being, I stop it. And another thing is not to do things that you can't afford. Like your friends are going out, they invite you and you don't want to miss out and you just end up going. Sometimes it's okay to say, no, guys, I don't have the money, because you might end up using your transport money to go and have fun. And then you struggle for the remainder of the month. So make sure you live below your means. And that also comes down to the issue of rentals. Now what I find is that most people want to live in those nice neighborhoods, but sometimes maybe it doesn't tally with their income. So you find that instead of having some money left over to really take care of themselves, they're really working and getting paid just so that they can pay their rent. You find that the amount of money they have left after paying their rent is not even enough to sustain them for the rest of the month. And then now they have to start borrowing money, etc., which is not a good look anyway. So what I advise, especially when choosing places to stay, is to make sure that your rent is at most a quarter or a third of your salary. So yeah, those are the 5 side hustle ideas that you can try in 2022 in Zimbabwe. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.